interesting situation.
My administration will soon take historic action to get illegal alien truck drivers who are just killing a lot of people. They can't read signs. Many of them are on drugs or alcohol, and they shouldn't be driving these things. And they came in totally illegally, and we don't want them, but they are driving all over American roadways, and we're going to replace them with proud American veterans who are going to take our veterans, who are going to make them, we're going to teach them a lot about driving trucks. And in many cases, they know. We're going to say any American who's driven a heavy truck for our military will automatically be eligible for a commercial driver's license.
Whoa.
So we're going to get them taken care of. Today, I'm making one more important announcement. My administration will soon take.
Okay.
Today, I'm making one.
So there has been a lot of, crashes involving truck drivers, but let's Google, because Trump says a lot of crazy things, and I'm all for giving veterans more work, because we definitely need to do that. But what's stopping the veterans initially from going and getting a truck driving gig? Do they want to? Is he going to give them more incentives? So let's look up. Let's look up truck driver stats with illegal immigrants. Okay. Crashings involving. All right. So let's share this tab real quick. Because Trump does be saying wild stuff. I agree with him giving it to veterans, but why are you trying to single out immigrants? I feel like everything the Trump administration does, they want to make it about illegal immigrants. So crashes involving commercial truck drivers who are in the United States illegally account for less than 1% of fatal trucking accidents annually. While the exact percentage fluctuates, federal regulators have noticed that high-profile incidents involving non-domiciled or improperly licensed operators have prompted sweeping federal crackdowns and immigration enforcement operations on the nation's highways. The 2025 crash data, the U.S. Department of Transportation reported that 17 fatal crashes in 2025, resulting in 30 deaths, involved non-domiciled commercial drivers who lacked legal authorization to remain in the U.S. Wow. That's a lot still, Overall proportion, these incidents make up a small fraction of the total. During the same period, there were roughly 1,600 fatal truck crashes overall. Wow. So this is what I feel like is crazy about the whole MAGA movement. And Google is free. I feel like none of his supporters even care to look at Google. They probably think it's hijacked. They probably think it's whatever, but these are statistics. The 2025 crash data, 30 deaths resulting in drivers who lacked legal authorization to remain in the U.S. 30 deaths. Overall, 1,600 fatal truck crashes. So what about the other 1,570 truck crashes or fatal truck crashes? It just feels like every time there's something wrong and it makes national news, because there was, I think yesterday someone got sentenced, or this week an illegal immigrant got sentenced to 5 or 10 years or something in Ontario because he killed people. He killed 3 or 4 people behind a semi truck. So that's the problem. When things make national news, they try to polarize it. If it only makes up 1% of fatal trucking accidents, what about the other 99%? You know what I mean? But he does these things to rile up his MAGA people. It's just crazy and it's insane. And I don't like that he's using deaths to push his agenda. It's like everybody deserves to be safe on the road. If people want to work, let them work. Maybe they just need more rigorous truck driving programs to make it a little harder to obtain a license. But then that creates an issue because there'll be looking for more truck drivers. A lot of them probably won't be able to pass that test. You know, people cut corners to get on the road, unfortunately. And with a semi truck, it's very dangerous to do that. I mean, hell, I got my license at 15, either 15 or 16. I can't remember, but it wasn't a truck driver license. It was a motor vehicle license. So I'm sure you can cut. I'm not going to say I cut corners, but given a license now, looking back to a 15, 16-year-old, to me is crazy, you know. But anyway, back to what I'm saying. He just tries to make everything polarizing. So my question is it the illegal immigrants causing these crashes, or is it everybody cutting corners? Remember now, there were 1,600 fatal truck crashes overall. Undocumented people only accounted for 30 of them. So there's a bigger issue than being undocumented, and it's these trucking companies trying to cut corners. Maybe they're trying to save $1 under this economy, which is harsh right now. Yes, the economy is bad. Maybe they're hiring their friends. Maybe they're just trying to work the system. That's the bigger issue. But Trump wants to make it about illegals. When are we going to wake up from this? When are we going to wake up from this propaganda? So just so most people know that these fatal accidents it's not an undocumented thing. I'm all for, you know, doing things legally, you know, but, you know, obviously we all know these people are playing games. These lawmakers are playing games. You get what I'm saying? So, you know, let's see. Recent enforcement and crackdown, Operation Checkmates, U.S. Custom and Border Protection, and the DOT drivers. Recent sweeps resulted in the arrest of dozens of commercial drivers holding CDLs who lack U.S. residency. Licensing crackdown, the Department of Transportation and the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration implemented rules barring certain temporary immigrants, such as asylum seekers and DACA recipients, from obtaining or renewing commercial driver's license. All right. Yeah. Bam. So here's a notable incident. Ontario, California, a 21-year-old foreign national without legal status pleaded guilty to vehicular manslaughter after plowing his semi-truck into a slow-moving traffic on Interstate 10, killing 3 people. That's the one I was talking about. So that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of things that make the news, but what's stopping people from like cutting corners? It doesn't matter. And guess what? Guess what? Whether you're illegal or not, it's these trucking owners that are trying to save a buck that are going to cut corners to get people on the road. So, but this is Trump administration officials, conservatives, torch California judge's sentence for an illegal immigration trucker who killed 3 people in a fiery California semi-truck collision after he was given less than 5 years behind bars. Wow. Yeah, that's a low. I mean, it was an accident, but damn. Jashpreet Singh, a 21-year-old Indian national who federal authorities said was in the United States illegally, was sentenced Tuesday to 4 years, 8 months in prison after pleading guilty to 3 felony counts of vehicular manslaughter with gross negligence stemming from an October 2025 crash on Interstate 10 in San Bernardino, California. Singh's semi-truck plowed into slow-moving traffic, killing 3 people and injuring several others, while dash cam video showed him never applying the brakes before impact. Why didn't he apply brakes? That doesn't make sense. But look, they're making it all about, you know, him being in the country illegally. Look, they care more about that than the people actually dying. Did they say why he didn't apply the brakes? Did he just not know what was he doing? Was it intentional? Obviously, I don't think it was intentional if they only gave him 5 years. But okay, but yeah, federal officials have previously warned California about compliance issues involving commercial driver's license and directed the state to pause new licenses to non-citizens and review existing licenses to make sure they complied with federal requirements. Okay, yeah. So again, let's go back to the other stat. Oh, how do I do that? Oh no. See, I lost the page. You know. Um, let's see. Uh, oh, here we go. Boom. Came right back up. There we go. Yeah. So look, same stuff. I get it, but these are only accounting for a small percentage. You know, what about the other 1,600 deaths? You know what I mean? So it's bigger. What I'm saying is it's bigger than immigration. It's more trucking companies trying to cut corners. So you got to attack the problem at the source, the economy, which is obviously a big thing to work on, which you can say if the administration's working on the economy or not. That's your call. And you got to worry about these truckers trying to cut corners, these trucking companies trying to cut corners. Way bigger than just legal statuses. So while MAGA's getting mad at that, these truck drivers are all shaking their head now because they could get people their CDLs for probably half the pay because they know they're undocumented. But now I guarantee you the trucking companies are more mad than the actual administration that they're not going to be able to just get cheap labor anymore. So, you know, that they're cracking down. So it's just a mess all the way around, you know, RIP to any motor vehicle victim. These roads are dangerous, especially in California. So, but, you know, let's try to focus on the real issue here. That's all I'm saying. That's the whole point of this part of the doom scroll. So, all right, on to the next story. These are my favorites. Married former school officer accused of having sex on duty at middle school with fellow officer. So the good thing is it wasn't with a student. So, you know,